I. Paths. Oh, the path is different. I was looking at female. Hey, duct tape. Yeah, the path is different. Weird how it's still clipping. Maybe it's not an EGS file. Yeah, I don't see an EGS file for female eye. That would explain the clipping. Alright, so that was this. So after FA is just... that should be a 30. Final one. Yeah, that one's no clipping. So the A's are 2s and every other helm is a 3. Alright. Really? I see the icons change, but no that? Oh, right, I didn't equip it. So me. Interesting. Probably female only. Definitely a full suit too. That definitely takes up both. Yeah, actually that takes up everything. Except for the head. What was that? That was the plate coat, I think? Yeah, plate coat. Alright, what the heck was that? It was a slot. 4 plus 8, so we'll start with 12. Add in the 32. And the 16. It should be the full body slot. Did my math right? Yeah, I've just been working on Zephyros this entire stream. Something slower and both slower paced and more variable in mood, or at least lighter in mood than Luca. Yeah, I'm in the home stretch. Oh, quote-unquote home stretch. I can see the end. That doesn't mean it's almost done. So I'll have to do form all that random and not. Gosh, I got the readme here. And I had to do listen workbook. Yeah, form all, random all, maybe custom sets, improved menu code. Yeah, it's kind of, it doesn't sound like much. Improved menu code's going to be a little something. So I'll probably need get form data 3 at this rate. I've added in vanilla armors and clothing. The form change. You also have mimicry too, so like this is arguably moot, but it's moot, so we're gonna do it anyways. I'm starting to add in the custom sets. I don't know if I'll allow this one on mail. Yeah, Oblivion can handle it. Oblivion's engine does not really care at all about body type or body sex. Just as long as the mesh path is there, it's fine. That was... Shut up, plate coat. Yeah, as you can see, form all. I don't have that implemented at all. I need a separate array for that. Weight changing. And as far as like why I need better menu code is just the extremist example. So there's like, I guess the hands are kind of few. 4 pages. Going like maybe 5 or 6 by the end. I don't know how many mono sets I'll be able to add. I've already found all the ones that, at least all the ones that I'll put ever into searching for. That's like 4 pages. The legs have 7 pages. And the body, 17 pages. So I need menu code that makes navigating this take less time. That'll work on later. And right now I'm working on actually mapping in the custom sets. So shadow plate coat. Interesting. There's a bit of skin clipping through. Yeah, this is definitely meant to be a full body one. For sure. Plate. Ah. Okay. Ah, that's weird. Those forearms are weird. That's supposed to be hands and upper body, so like a 4 plus 32? 32's foot, 16's hand. How's been your days? Duct tape? Can't help but think that I probably need the body type. Those arms don't look so spindly. I've used like body types that aren't vanilla before, and they tend to like default to what seems to be the thinnest. That seems super duper thin. Let's see. Yeah, this armor set was added to this under Keep as a reward, and through the credits page on that mod, I came to this mod. It sure is not the historically accurate armor that I look for, but hot damn is it badass. Huh. Well, hopefully finances aren't too dire. Trying to get a look at the arms, see if I can see the male arms. Can't help but feel like the male arms are too spindly for what they are. Oh well. What's the body type though? I just don't see the HGEC eye candy body, but I don't know if that comes with the male variant. Yeah, this one's got more filled out arms versus like. Maybe it's just the armor type. That's just, that doesn't look right. Alright, then Shadow M, unless, whatever. Shadow Cape Mix, so yeah, Shadow M. Yeah, I probably need the body type. HGEC, right? What is this? The one that comes from... Not quite. That said, this still is an upper body one, so... It's probably also 20. Yep. Alright. Hold on, what was this? Shadow Plate Cape? Okay. It's like the female variant, or is it a unisex? Because I'd be willing to call this a unisex variant. guess they're all kind of unisex, huh? Actually, since I'm controlling which sex can use which variant, shouldn't I just include them all as they are right now? Let male wear female variants? Huh. I know the female helms look kind of neat. A little bit of a shame to restrict them to only females. I get why. Especially with the actual female full body ones. Those really shouldn't be male, but I've seen it happen before. Where were we? Chaplet Cape, so yeah, Cape EX. I have a feeling that the guy who made Sunward Cube actually modified it a little bit, because I'm not seeing any of the pure black ones yet. Alright. I'm seeing like, almost certainly get the HGC body. Using vanilla this entire time, which is pretty fine. Sure, I passed it big time. Pretty much all been slot 20s. Ah, here's the male upper. This looks a lot like yeah, I should include it from there because it's a slight tweak. Yeah, that looks very much like it should be there. Alright, so that's 20, that's 20, that's 20. Now upper is also 20. Okay, I don't think I have any shadow hands. I think it's all legs and heads. Alright, that's because the dynamic form from our passcode was a blank string. Okay, just leggings. So they're probably all going to be, what, 40? 32 plus 8? That's not that many. It's like 3. I'm legit surprised there's only 3. Alright, not wearing them. Yeah, that is... What's a 40? Yep. They were all 40s. Actually, let's double check. Yes, they are indeed all 40s. Okay. quit so I can actually save this. And now we actually check it. We'll double check it. Alright, that's that. So the one other bug with this setup that I know is that when I drop the shield, it CTD'd. So I don't know what's up with that, but alright. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Still real spindly though. I guess it's the thinnest the female bodies can go. In which case, let's go with Shadow Melee. Which doesn't have it still. And then wait, yep. Yeah, that's like real spindly on the limbs. I passed it. There we are. This is gonna be a cool set to use. I feel it's a little too badass for level 1, but like later on. I don't know when I decide to use it, but I really do like this set. Let's see. This is, yeah, it's K-Bam. X. Man, those legs are real thin too. And the HGEC's thinnest setting should, assuming it actually does let you modify the thinness of the limbs, that's really thin. Huh. I'll go back and add the Baron armor. I didn't feel like dealing with all of its different variants and whatnot when I got to it, but probably go back and do it, because I think it's HDEC as well. And not quite what I want, but still acceptable. Type. Yeah, HGEC. Guess I should add that. Yeah, that one I'm asking for permission for. This one's really cool. When I tried using it myself, I couldn't get it to work for some reason. I don't know why. All the file paths looked right, but when I went in game, it was still the same old vanilla setup. Either way, since as long as it's a separate entity, I should be fine. That's it. I need permissions. For any other deviations, please contact me first. So. Have I? I haven't. But yeah, I'm asking him. What other ones I haven't downloaded yet would be the local guard add-ons, which is some pretty... I see HEC in there too. I see. Robert Mailbody. I've seen that before. Yeah, it still is vanilla meshes by and large, but it's way cooler armor sets regardless. Your normal stuff. I already have the vanilla guard armor included in the form, but that's like just some tabards combined with chainmail. Yeah, that's right up. And then male body replacer. There's male body. There's like multiple, going to be multiple body mods in here, which is just unfortunate. Like, I'm glad this handles different body types rather than Skyrim. With Skyrim, if your body type doesn't match the armor, then you get a missing mesh. So like, it has to be for the body type, otherwise it just won't work. But with Oblivion, as you see, it just defaults to a weird portion, but still works. I guess I'd add this to a known issue. Also, they look odd. Or off. Off too. Yeah, both odd. Honestly, I don't know how much of this will actually keep in the README and just using it as like it's like a draft for the actual mod page. So all this info has to go on the mod page. Yeah, there's male body replacer. Or it's gonna suck when you have to tell them to get two different male bodies because you can only ever have one. I know that much. Robert male body. I have to pick one of those two because I can't ask the users to get 2 male body meshes just because they're arbors with the clashing events. Yeah. I'll look up male body replacer. Yeah. See, we have uncensored dongs on some of these images. Is this either the cloth is very close to flesh colored or there is no cloth at all on this one? Let's go here. Alright. Robert's mail. Wow. Version 52. Jeez. Yep. That's that. Interesting. And this one's way more downloaded. Alright, I'll... You know what? Actually, take a look at this. I'm curious how this looks compared to, say, vanilla. Shoulders feel more reined in, gotta say, but I need to see what that... It's like clothing now in the images. User... There's still some broad clothing. Harder waist, though. Oh well. So I'm impressed how high that registers on the mic. So, well, the female body matches, the male body does not. Gosh, just... It still hasn't hit 1%, but there is some packet loss tonight. It's at 0.8% of total frames dropped. Which is 1,364, so like... 20 seconds? Almost half a minute. Kind of impressive. Only drops like a few seconds at a time. Must be quite pretty often then. So I may re-add that now, I have to say, just the body conflict. Yeah, here we are, Play of the Shadow. How is your recommended male armor? You don't say. Alright, let me just look at GEC. Huh, let's see. Female only modders does have male variants too. And they redid their whole addresses, so it broke like every single link on most of these older mod pages. Alright, AGI. I get the feeling it's only female. I'm seeing no male screenshots. Yeah, okay. I'll download that, I guess, off stream. That's just a lot of nudity. Oh, let's compare 1,000 offset mode. So offset mode looks like this. Monochrome. And this just happened to match up with the line count. Anywho. Alright, so that's that. What I need to do now is say drop the helmet. What is this? What? And then I drop the shield and it crashes, okay. I'm gonna set the shadow shield's ground texture to itself, like all the other shields. That may very well be the actual cause of the CTD. I mean, that's a legit ground mesh path. I don't know why it's causing a crash. Alright, so just normally dropping it. So it's not the normal shield itself. Okay, there's the ground mesh for some reason. So weird ground mesh. Yeah, so I'll leave these as is. I'll leave these out of the mod specifically, so that you can pick them up from other mods, because we have mimicry. thought I had these before I installed it, so I got them mimicked from the other set. Now we have these more normally. God, this song is such a good beat. What about the normal helm? The helm too. Yeah, no horns. That looks a little odd. A little creepy. Here's because I'm used to having the horns, but no, it's actually the skull shape. It's not perfectly round, it's like oh so slightly triangular, which is more like an actual skull shape, mind you, but that's just eerie. Well, that's not full on, is it? I mean, nothing too significant, mind you. That's why I have such a hard time just rattling off exactly what you missed. I fixed the CTD with the shield, which, oddly enough, is because of the ground. So even though we have this whole perfectly viable ground mesh, if you use it for a shield, it crashes the game. I don't get that, but that's what that CTD was from. And just for a bit of reference, this whole thing is 4 kilobytes. It's a lot of this. Like, I cut and paste? I guess I should cut and paste. Alright, so it's 27.67 kilobytes, size of the script. 23.16. Oddly enough, even though this is like longer in terms of character-wise, these function calls take up a lot less space in the strings in memory. Fortunately, it has some functions though to handle empty strings and get form data down here. So I have redirecting empty paths to their counterparts because even though the engine autofills in empty paths, like, let me get the. First, I'm just standing with vanilla armor. No, that's not a good example. Helmet? Yeah, helmet. You can see, it's a glass helmet. Your standard vanilla glass helmet, and it has only male paths, no female paths, because the engine, when you use this UI, it automatically fills in the female paths with the male ones if they're empty. But when I use the OBS scripts to set the paths, it doesn't do the same thing, so I have to actually make sure they're filled out. Otherwise I have missing messages. So I have this little loop here that goes through every single entry in our array after it's made and make sure all the paths are filled. So I don't actually have to worry about female-male path parity. That'll take care of it. Means I can have all these empty strings. Yeah, I gotta put better names for this stuff. Like, seriously, better names. I'll put all the helmets together though. And I have all the slots sorted out. So initially I made them all alphabetical. make them all numeric in accordance with your indexes and data. Oh, hey, Sobit. Let's see. I'm starting to add modded stuff to the farm thing. Also, I have a much better... I did my whole form thing way better than I did with Paragon, so it's actually an array here. Because I'm using AR append, it doesn't matter. I don't have to care about indexes other than like what body slot it is. So if I want to change the order in the menu, I just need to like cut and paste stuff, and that's the order changed. Which is like way easier on me. Way easier. On both the up and down side though, we have a lot of forms now. I am almost filled up on the second one, and we aren't even that close on Paragon. We have like 17 pages of body forms, but like 4 pages for hand. It's all over the place. Yeah, alright. I gotta name these though. If you want a more detailed rundown of what's going on, I guess you can ask more specific questions. That's what's happening right now. So now, to throw down the Uno reverse card, how are you doing? I feel like I should keep shadow as the first word for all of these, but not all of them actually have that much to their names. There's one that's literally called a helm, and then there's another one called shadow helm, so I can't just stick shadow in front of helm. So we have shadow helm and shadow helm. Or would it be shadow helm? Actually, I think, yeah, here we have helm, and then right after it, shadow helm. I could make the female stuff female only, of course. But I feel like letting males use that too, because it doesn't look distinctly female. None of this really looks distinctly female to me, except for I think like one shows the belly. That one's clearly female, but I'll allow it on male anyways. And also what we're listening to is a free album I got. So listening to, it's like the latest video I linked in report, listed all the music they used at the bottom. And one of them led to a Bandicamp page for a free album. So we are listening to this right now on loop. You mean like change the background when you go to the shop, man? Try the first part of like have a button and then just like fade to black and fade into the shop. I get, but like on this same screen, there's like a couple of ways I can do that. Either one's you just hit the menu key and it just changes the menu UI to the shop and doesn't do anything to the background, or you actually have like the shop like in the background, and when you hit the menu, it zooms into the shop. those could work, but that last one would require the most polish, maybe. It's the most impressive of the three, I'll say. That means having a very, very large, very high resolution image to zoom in on. See, there's a lot of armor to go. I mean, there still is the whole local guard stuff to add, but like beyond that, there's BB mod is what I'm doing right now. That's all this. Then there was, and that's already in there. It's these 5 up here. Kite shield. There's some Witcher 2 rips I decided to include. Like, fuck it. Let's just add them. Oh right, the Daedra Lord. That one's got male and female. More shields. More shields. More shields. It's actually a lot of shields, and this one is helmets. Ah, yes. Yeah, this one's gonna be nice. I don't know how the texturing is gonna look in game. This is all I've seen of it, but yeah, this is going to be nice. Oh yeah. I mean, I really like the shadow armor stuff though. I'll talk about the mod page. Yeah. Should do auto search, right? Yeah, here it is. So, Thunder Keep, that whole like black kind of demony set with the glowing red eyes. That I followed that mod page. They wanted to add that, and their credits linked me to Play to the Shadow, which is the actual mod that came from. And they slightly tweaked it, by the way. They turned some of the white trim black, but otherwise it's mostly the same. And that's a lot of variants. So yes, oh yeah, I used to have a lot more Nexus tabs up just earlier today because I had to look up a lot of armor mods, just to keep things going. I know you want more tabs, but tabs in moderation. Excessive tabs are a bad thing. Oh yeah, I love it too. Like, you know, I prefer the historically accurate stuff like in Mordhau, but even this I cannot deny is fantastic. I love this shot. And this armor is now in my mod. Oh, the weapons aren't. The weapons you'll have to get your own. Huh, I don't have the female helm replace the hair. That's odd. Like, neat, but that won't work with my mod, that's for sure. Not because I can't set it to 0, but because a lot of the stuff that has to deal with, say, merged items, telling whether it's, you know, takes up half your body or just a single slot, actually has to look at the slot mask. And for it to show both your face and the hair, the slot mask has to be 0. Which is nothing. So it won't even register as an item until like half of my code. So yeah, I can't quite do that. Actually, see the hair there too. Didn't notice that before. Realizing that could be the case, that's actually a bit of a... That's a bit of an issue. Okay, gotta throw that to known issues then. Alright, and I have to add these to the FAQ, because why are there no issues is the whole thing. Like, head and hair are separate slots, but you can't... They also override each other, which is... Like, I get that with the open-faced helmets, I can see the face, but like... If something takes up the head slot, but not the hair slot, something takes up the hair slot, but not the head slot, and you can't equip them both in Oblivion's engine. I'm gonna try a little something. Because if I remember correctly, use it on Shadow A and make it a 1 instead of a 2. Because it should take up the face slot, not the hair slot. So it was what, Shadow A? And I'll just keep going through them all until I get to it. That was an A though. Yeah, this would be if it takes up just the hair slot. I may not have compiled just maybe I didn't compile and it's Shadow A. Okay. Well, I can alter the code to actually handle the zeros. Just assuming those mods actually do use zeros, I think I passed the shadow set. No, I did. Yeah, I did. There it is. Yeah, I don't even have big poofy hair to like actually show this, but okay, I have like thing out back, and that's just okay. It should be right there. No, I don't think it shows the hair slot. Well, black and steel was a thing. Definitely black iron. But I think you end up with more of a black knight type deal. At least with plate. If you went with leather, though, you get something more special. You can always load up the ESP and look at it. Alright, and here we are, play the shadow. Yeah, I'll probably have to close that so the data list is actually up to date. Yep, because they do the same thing. Go with suggested. Anytime Vortex has a suggested, I'll use it. Yeah, it doesn't have a dark mode, but I can, as you already saw, edit the color schemes of a few things. I don't have theme lists, I actually have RGB values to deal with. I got at least the code editing thing to be semi-dark. What I really need right now is to open up. I wonder where it is. What the heck is the ESP even called? Just play the shadow. The light theme is all Bethesda uses, which, I mean, wonder if they have bugs. I don't think I can organize this alphabetically. So, fine-tooth comb it is. Shadow. Thinking if I should set it as active or not. I'll use the VB mod folder, that should be easy enough to find. I've been coding for like 3 months in the light theme of the CS editor before I finally decided to just look to see if there's any way to make it dark. Alright, now we're there. We have an object window off on the second monitor. Alright. Oh, I don't know what folder it's under. I don't see a VP mod. Oh, it's under armor. Okay. Oh, and I can actually get what... Oh, this is actually useful. So this is useful because I've been wondering what kind of... There aren't icons for every single mesh, so they obviously reuse icons. And without having an ESP, I just have to guess which ones they reused icons for. So with this... Okay, so... Yeah, so Helm uses... uses Helm obvious like head and hair. Amulet slot. How neat. It's a head mesh in the amulet slot. So I don't have to put that in the known issues because you can't mimic this. You can't mimic jewelry slot stuff. I mean, if it has a body slot and a jewelry slot, then you can mimic it. But if it's just jewelry slots, you can't. It has to have head, hair, upper body, lower body, hand, foot, or leg slot. But, you know, legs and lower body are the same thing. Or shield slot. Doesn't have any of those, you can't mimic it. It's fucking ingenious. Oh, that's just wonderful. Okay. Okay, I don't need to deal with that known issue anymore. That's not really a known issue, is it? Alright, I just need to make an A for this one. I always try to sound at least a little crazy with these as like a way to vent my frustrations at it. And I kind of want to keep the theme, although I'm not feeling all that frustrated right now, so I don't think I can put out some kind of rambling crazy answer for this. Try anyways. Yes. Actually, I'm having a hard time remembering if Skyrim's mismatching body types actually did a missing mesh thing. Or if it just... No, it used the other body type. There's also missing meshes too, I remember. Yeah, I guess this doesn't really work then. It's a starter. Oh, by the way, those thumbnails are auto-generated because I have put zero time into learning how to make thumbnails. Because I figured that at least at the start, I'd be spending like 2 hours to make a thumbnail every day, and that just wouldn't be worthwhile. I know eventually you can get down to like 10 minutes when you're good at it, but I don't want to sink in the time, so I don't do thumbnails. Those are all auto-generated. I just leave them be. Now that you brought it up, I think it was PowerShell they renamed it to. It's blue. I think there's command prompt too, though. Yeah, there's a command prompt, which is still black. I wonder what the difference between that and the PowerShell is. How to go about this? Yeah, I don't think I can do this on stream, just because I have to get myself a bit incensed to actually write all these kinds of FAQ answers. But I have a rough idea of how to go about it. Just like going into the fact that you can just swap your bodies, swap up, like, you can modify your body, swapping it out one for another like a commodity. That's just perfectly normal. Yeah, I feel that's kind of like a bare minimum of what I can do right now. I know that like thumbnails are one of, if not the biggest thing to traffic on your videos on YouTube. Probably other sites too, but definitely YouTube. So that's really a huge handicap on myself as far as growth goes. At the same time, I feel kind of content just having the same few close friends. Or are you guys close friends? You're definitely friends. Don't mistake that. You're not acquaintances. I'm not sure if you're quite close friends yet. Either way, good friends. At the very least, tuning in every day and chatting with them. Like, the gang's all here is what I feel like saying each time. Even though I don't see Alyssa in chat at all. So yeah, I'll just leave that for later. Yeah, I'm content with the stream as it is. Be nice if it grows. That's mostly because having more viewers means more likely someone will give me cash for doing this. That's kind of it, but otherwise I have people that I like to hang with, that hang with me regularly on stream, and that's good enough. Now, this whole part about some of the messages crashing from scope is both a blessing and a curse. It's a curse because now we have a lot more loose files around in the mod, but a blessing because I don't have to fucking remap 183,000 different file paths. Let me give you a little bit. So this is like some of the extra. This one's actually like in the form change, and I can show you in game what it looks like. But like, it's just a Kuros, right? And the thing is, this is the texture path that's baked into the file. So if I change the location of the textures, I can change this texture path. But here's the thing: that's not the only texture path. It's like half a dozen texture paths for one freaking item. Most items have only one texture path, which is fine, but every now and again you come across one that has like 10 texture paths. So I don't have to deal with that this time around. Thankful for that. There are times when I do it alphabetical order, like how I'm handling the body parts in these arrays is alphabetical by the 4-letter shorthand I do. I have to actually get up the manager to show this. That's where the most of the variables are. Got the usual 3 cleanup, default any, and we're over 80 scripts for this. I'm like 81 or 82 scripts right now. Anywho. Be up here. Yeah. I have these 4-letter shorthand I use for them. Body, foot, hand, head, leg, shield, and that's in alphabetical order. Yeah, it's generally good practice to declare your variables off first, but you can also be considered good practice to declare your variables around when you're going to use them. The thing is with Oblivion scripting language is you have to declare all the variables first. You can't declare variables as soon as you do a big end block. So I'm kind of forced to do things the formal way. But yeah, so the arrays are basically in this order, where that's the 0th index and the 1st and the 2nd, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th alphabetical order. It kind of results in it going all over the place though in the actual UI, because like foot is like at the end and body's at the start, and then you go to hand at the start, and then you go to head at the end, and legs at the start, and it's in the middle, and the shield at the very end. Bouncing back and forth, but whatever. There's so much code built upon the array being in this exact order that I can't really change it, or at least not without a lot of effort rewriting. Oh yeah, I have video. After that, aside from alphabetical, and what I definitely put priority on first is relevance or use. You can see here with the subheadings, there's all the reference variables up here. Well, not all the reference variables, but all the like static ones that are important. And like ini file variables come next. Then we have oh boy, this is all the data I have to track for Mimicry. For one freaking set, I have this many variables. And there's another like 6 globals too. Armor has so much goddamn data. Although on that regards, the past few streams I've been going at 4K bitrate instead of my usual 5K. Because Alyssa had mentioned that she actually gets less choppy when I start losing packets, so that made me think if I reduce the throughput, then maybe she'll have a better streaming experience. She hasn't really said much one way or the other since then, but I remember choosing 5K after trying some lower bit rates and then watching the footage back like years ago and coming out as like real blocky and pixelated. I don't think I'll ever do 3K unless that's like the only thing that seems viable, because I remember 3K being noticeably pixelated. 4K might be okay. I haven't actually watched back the footage. Yeah, so this is the end of the ini variables. There's the other ones that like I need to keep track of to track things like resistances. There's latency stuff, so it's all time-based. Then there's flags for various things. Now, most of these would normally be Boolean flags, except Oblivion scripting language does not have Boolean variables, even though they have a lot of Boolean expressions. Instead, they use 0 for false and non-zero for true, so we use shorts instead of Booleans, which has the downside is that it takes up a lot more memory than a Boolean, because you need like 16 bits instead of 1 bit. But the upside is that you can now represent a lot more states than just 2 with each single flag. Like menu is for the menus, so I can use 1 flag for like every single menu page. That's one of the upsides, using a short for a flag. And then here we have just the reusable things. Kind of. These aren't quite reusable. These I actually do need to use elsewhere, but most of this stuff is like just Not particularly used for anything, just kind of reuse it like a stack an item. I use for just arrays I need to make shortly. I can kind of see it, but I don't think I had the same experience when I learned it, so I don't fully share your experience, but it is a little funny word. And yeah, so this is all like just the local variables that I need for just manager. And here's the scripts that the last time I uploaded this all to GitHub, I did yeah. I put my emphasis on the LE in there, which is probably why it doesn't come across as funny to me. So last time I uploaded this code to GitHub, which was like at least a few days ago. It can't be more than a week ago at this point. I went through and audited all my code because I didn't want to do the menu code. So I went through and audited all my code for commenting, and that's when I updated Manager to have all these functions. This has changed since then, but not by much. Only add like a couple extra functions to this. So if you want to see all the goddamn globals we need, because if you thought those local variables was a lot, that's all the globals. That's more than half the globals in the game. This is all the globals that are in oblivion.esm. And my globals take up like more than 3/4 of that. For me, I have a bit of a convoluted structure because this is a mod. Where is it? So I have a folder on my desktop that's just self mods, and this is because I have to make archives for uploading to Nexus. So I basically, everything I want to put into the archive, I include in one folder. And I just make an archive out of that folder. It's easy to do. The reason why I don't do it in GitHub is because I had to ask permission to use some of the meshes and textures. And so I probably shouldn't upload them onto a freeware site. I don't know if freeware is the right term. Might be. But you get the idea. Open software site where everything is available. I don't feel like I should be able to upload these, so I have to keep them separate from the GitHub repository, which means I have basically running 2 repositories that are usually in sync. Not always, because I mean I have to update these by hand. I have to like go in here, like Control All, copy, and then open up the text file and paste it in there in order to update those. And all the scripts. Just actually get a count. 81 scripts. That's why I used to update my GitHub daily, but once it got to like 50 or 60 scripts, I'm just like, I don't want to do this. And so it's kind of gone to like maybe every other week that I update the GitHub. Oh yeah, I really need to emphasize actually putting this in your header somewhere when you mod. You'd be proud seeing that folder. But seriously, include this. Because remember that whole story about trying to find out how the fuck Knights of the Nine Revelation had a scripted fire effect and how it just led to freaking instances of other items? Shit. This should help shorten that, because now you know these are all the goddamn objects that this ESP adds. Really narrow your search. Yeah, like I have It's on the second monitor is where all these shortcuts are, so I can't show it to you. Or I probably can, but I'm not going to fiddle through the settings to do it. I have self mods as a folder, and then right next to it I have a shortcut to Oblivion, and Oblivion's data folder specifically. And then right below that I have the launcher for the construction center. Yeah, helps with organization, but also you spend too much time on organization. I was like, oh boy, getting kind of close to 2K lines. Now, one thing is that this will get shortened because right now, all of, where is it? Like here, going down. It's like this code I plan to factor out into a function when I'm done with it. I'm going to write it here in Manager, and then when I'm really done with all this block of code, I'll just make it a function. As far as really long functions though, I think the longest function was like set? Was it set or no, I think it was mod enchant level. And that's because this one deals with all those 240 globals for enchantment tracking. Yes, 240. 46. So you have the individual ones to recognize active. And yeah, you just put it in some coordinates, and it hard code modifies the value and gives you back a new one. It's like 2,763 lines. And in-engine is 25.5 kilobytes. I forget if a longboard is a skateboard or a surfing board. I don't think you ever answered that the last time you brought it up. But I do know what a vibe check means. Like, I wish I could put these globals into an array, but the thing with the array is that I think it'd be copies of the globals and not references to them, which means if I edit stuff in the array, it's not going to edit the globals. And while I do have an on exit block that I can call on, while I do have an exit block that I can call on with OBSE, what if they crash and that block won't get called? So I want to make sure everything's updated the moment it changes, so I had to make this function. It's basically a hard-coded array. Okay, skateboard. Alright, I have a better idea, because I think I've seen not in person, but like footage of and images of longboards like in the distant past, when I was like 12. That's why I kind of remember what longboarding is. To my memory, a longboard, if it is a skateboard, it's just a longer version of a skateboard. That's really just what I imagine. It's just a skateboard, but make it longer. Make the wheels farther apart. And there's some short functions like refresh inventory. So nice and short at 57 lines. So all it does is just refresh your inventory with an empty object. I wonder how much that changes things from just regular skateboarding now. I imagine it'd be harder to turn because you have a longer object to work with, but like, I wonder what else it changes. I also have a cleanup. Right. So I think I've gone over why I use the init block for get game loaded. Oh yeah, so the initializer block goes from 492 down to 853. It has 400 lines to initialize. That's using a lot of function calls, so that if we like copy pasted all the code, oh gosh, that's. I don't want to think about that line count. But yeah, this runs every time you load a save. It actually happens surprisingly fast. Like, the actual slowdown that happens when you see my game load is actually the meshes loading in, and not the code running. Surprisingly. Alright. Well, I guess roughly a half hour to go. You take care too. Be Shadow of Mordor tomorrow night. Coding's just for tonight. It's an interlude. Take care and get good work done. Most importantly, get fulfilling work done. Yeah, right, why this exists. So, how to go about explaining this? So when you load a save, some data gets updated. It's stored in the save file. Some data goes poof into the void. And some data persists. Because of all that all over the place with data preservation, I have to reinitialize everything every time you load a save. And I tried to store anything that I need to in your save. I can store globals and string variables inside your save file. And I make use of that for a few things. It's also why we have so many globals. Because I need to keep track of the enchant levels for all of the effects, so I need global for every single effect on every single piece of armor. Just 40 effects for 6 pieces, 240, plus the 6 for which one's active. Yeah, you get the picture already. There's the string varies. String varies are for more complex stuff, like, you know, paths, but also... Where was it? Actually... yeah, here it is. These are actually pseudo-arrays because I can't store arrays. So instead I have a string, where I stringify the array's data, or what would be the array's data. Oh, it's a longboard. It's like a cross between a surfboard and a skateboard. Like shape-wise. I don't know about handling, because I still haven't... Maybe once I rode on a skateboard. But nothing memorably, so... It's like a skateboard with a surfboard shape. Guessing it's for like long downhill spurts. Yeah, so I store things in your save file so I can... Anything that I need to like persist across sessions, I store in your save file. Which is stuff like the weight of your armor, the current form it has, its levels, and its history of level ups, because I need that for when we level down. The ini file. Oh so glorious ini file. I think it's shorter than 2's Faragons. It has more functions, but I think it's... Yeah, I think it's because the enchantments have less data. It's because the enchantments are literally just the magnitude, instead of the magnitude, cost, area, duration. I think that was everything. Yeah. I really like how I did the keybinds this time, though. So I did the keybinds in Faragon with, what was it, like a main key and then some alt keys, where if you hold down just the main key, you do the main function, which is usually like form change or offer up an item. And if you hold down the main key and the alt key, you get extra stuff like getting the name or the enchantment values. But this time I didn't do that, and instead have 3 keybinds for everything, and you have 2 of them are optional. It says so right up here, key 1 plus key 2 or key 3. So if I set all 3 keybinds to the same thing, you get functionally the same deal as before, or it's the same default controls as just Faragon, but now you can change them to whatever buttons you want and whatever button combinations you want, assuming you obey the priority thing here, because you can't get around that. And the reason that priority thing exists is because of order of operations in the code itself. It's the fact that we check form name first, and then enchantment, and then form menu, which means if you have the form name keys pressed, then set menu to that, and we skip checking these two because it's an else if. We only need one to ring true. We only go on to the second one if the first one's false, we only go on to the third one if the second one's false, and so on. It was Shadow or Mordor. This game, Wikipedia. I don't know if I should show a little clip of it, because I've forgotten a lot of it. It was rated pretty well. It came out like 2014. I was going to say 2017. Damn, a long time ago. I'm not quite sure how to describe the gameplay other than it's more of action. I guess I'll play some of the trailers. So one of the key things that this thing has, one of the key systems, was the Nemesis system. Which is the fact that the game randomly generates orcs with like random boons and banes and personality quirks. And game actually has them remember if they've survived an encounter with you or if they killed you, and they'll bring that up the next encounter, not only in dialogue but also in how they fight and how they treat you. As in, if they survive an encounter with you, they'll prepare for the next time, and if they kill you, they'll get promoted in the army and they'll be stronger, and so on and so forth. So along with what seems to be good combat, you have this like intimate relationship with randomly generated NPCs. I have no idea how long this game will be, but Alyssa requested this, so you can thank her if you really end up liking watching this. Yeah, it's closest to the Arkham series in terms of combat, where it's like 45-degree angle overhead. You kind of flit about the battlefield with each swing, fighting multiple opponents. See if one of these is like some combat. That's audio.
Binds us together.
Oh. Oh well. So, that's more of a story trailer. This one gameplay though. I know there was a sequel, which I think was called Shadow of War, which seemed to have really good gameplay, but Warner Brothers shoehorned in some really disgusting microtransactions that actually managed to erode the core of the game. So I don't know if it's a good game to play. Or like it's still fun, and they increased the scale from Shadow of Mordor, but Warner Brothers had them put in like a lot of paywalls, basically, to keep you from the fun. I don't see any kind of. Okay. Yeah, I don't know how good the gameplay will be in this, but
Peggy 18.
we'll give it a go.
In Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor, you are Talion, a ranger of Gondor and a guardian of the Black Gates, until the night Sauron and his Black Captains returned to Mordor, killing everyone you've ever loved and leaving you for dead. This walkthrough takes place several hours into the game and focuses on the Nemesis system, a next-gen living world which creates unique personal enemies on every playthrough. In this instance, Talion's mission is to kill the Uruk war chief Orthog, and in order to get to him, Talion is going to hunt down one of his henchmen, an Uruk captain called Ratbag, who Talion has tracked to this village. Like every enemy you face in the Nemesis system, Ratbag and Orthog are completely unique to this gameplay instance. There are no generic canned enemies. Within this dynamic living world, every interaction between Talion and his enemies has a direct effect on Uruk society. Ratbag has already met Talion and survived, and his unique personality has evolved to shape this gameplay encounter. He's now been promoted to a new job as a slaver, which is why we can find him in this village persecuting the humans below. Talion's quest for vengeance is aided by a mysterious undying spirit, a wraith. This wraith transforms Talion and gives him the power to pursue his enemies into Mordor, and it enables him to move between the physical world and the wraith world. In the wraith world, Talion can identify his enemies, such as Ratbag, and return to the real world to confront them.
Grave Walker! You left my master to burn, so I'm gonna cut you slow and savor every twitch.
Memory is an important feature of the Nemesis system, and Ratbag is never going to forget that he only just survived his last fight with Talion. This unique combination of personality and history will make him distinct from every other enemy Talion meets. Ratbag is a coward at heart, and he's going to run as soon as the odds turn against him.
Master, help me!
Again, Talion can put his wraith powers to use. One of the key powers of a wraith is the ability to dominate your enemies through terror and bend them to your will.
You will obey.
Now Ratbag is Talion's minion. He can be ordered to spy and feed back information, to spread terror by carrying the message of what he's witnessed here to build Talion's legend among Sauron's forces, or to be sent on a mission to assassinate his leader. Each choice creates a unique mission in the open world of Mordor. By entering Ratbag's mind, Talion can see his relationship with the other Uruk leaders, as well as their unique characteristics and abilities. Ratbag's master and the war chief in this area is Orthog, who has also had a previous encounter with Talion. In his case, a battle which left him severely scarred on the face. Orthog is very different to Ratbag. He's extremely tough and has many followers. Ratbag has almost no chance of killing him. But by creating an assassination mission, Talion gains the opportunity to follow Ratbag and finish off his enemy himself. In the open world, Talion can begin the mission at any time. But this walkthrough will fast forward to the assassination attempt. Playing as Talion opens up a world of creative choice about how to approach every mission. In this case, the cover of night and the rain creates a range of opportunities. Use bait to draw in trolls and Karagors to create a distraction. Take a direct combat approach. Or use a stealth approach to infiltrate and get as close to Talion's target as possible. Again, Talion moves into the Wraith world to identify Orthog, who's called this meeting. Ratbag, who's behind Orthog, can be recognized by the blue hand, indicating he is Talion's minion. We can also see Ratbag's supporters, who can be recognized by white hands. Since Talion now dominates Ratbag, he also controls his followers, allowing Talion to build his forces behind enemy lines. For additional fire support, Talion's going to dominate this archer. Each follower can be triggered individually as part of a more tactical approach, or all at once, to cause infighting and chaos. Distraction, so Talion can finish off what Ratbag starts. Ratbag's attack severely damages Orthog, and although he has survived, Talion now has a major advantage going into battle.
That shuts you up. You left me to burn. I'm gonna make you pay for that.
Through the Nemesis system, Orthog remembers his previous encounter with Talion, making this battle both unique and personal.
You burn my face, but I will burn your corpse! Tell your master, I am coming!
Yes. Let them carry word back to Sauron. When he comes for us, our pawns will be in place, and all Mordor will burn.
Yeah, that's what we're playing tomorrow. I don't know what much else I can get done in the 10 minutes before we end. Rush your stint. Yeah, there's the name sighting, which I think I brought up like an hour ago. I really don't get much coding done on the coding streams. It's mostly just explaining and venting about the code. Also, I don't get what's up with this I don't know why you can drag it up, and I don't know why that message is there, but okay. So yeah, Shadow of War like brings the Nemesis system to a whole new level. Instead of having spies and turncoats, you have an actual army of orcs. I don't know how the microtransactions went. Alright. Good night. And yeah, talk to you tomorrow. Guess I'll end it here then. Thank you for watching. Have a great night. We'll be here on the morrow.